Hanging out down in Mobile, Alabama with GM John Lynch. John, the Senior Bowl, a pillar of every single draft process, but this week you have the added bonus of coaching the South team. How do you make sure you take full advantage of the opportunity?
Well, I think first of all, you realize that what an opportunity it is. I was walking through the halls and somebody from another team, a personnel executive, said, "You're cheap." You know, this is like having answers to the test.
Do you guys get more time with them because of the fact that you're coaching the South team?
We do. I mean, Kyle's great in that he'll tell the scouts, you know, our meeting rooms are yours. So they're in there with these players. They're watching the way they interact with coaches. They're watching what they're taught, and then they can see how they're able to apply that the next day or not apply that.
Fred Warner was in this game last year. Was that really when you kind of started to say, all right, we like this guy at BYU, we really think he can translate?
We had done a lot of work on Fred prior to arriving here and seeing, wow, this is a unique athlete. He's very gifted. He did play a hybrid position, and so you always wonder, how's that going to translate? First of all, he looked the part. He walked around here and he looked good in a uniform, and then you watch him in one-on-ones, you know, true competition at its highest form. He performed extremely well. You go to the game, it looked like he could see things, and you tell that by the instincts, the ability to find the ball. So Fred, this was a big week for him.
The practice field, I imagine, is part of the emphasis of this week, because this is, for all intents and purposes, the last time you get to see them really play football before you're going to decide, you know, to use draft capital on some of these guys. And so how important is that?
The practice field's incredibly important. I talked about the competition, the one-on-ones. There's nothing like that. How are they going to respond to what we're asking them to do? That's the other bonus. We're playing a very simplistic version of our systems, both offensively, defensively, and on special teams. How do they look being asked to do those type of things? There's so many different things that you can watch here, and that's why it's fascinating.
John, you're embarking on year 3 with your team here, running the personnel staff of this organization, and how have you gone about kind of tinkering an imperfect system? You're never going to bat 1,000, but how do you go about, you know, making it as pure as possible?
Yeah, well, you mentioned earlier process. I think you refine your process all the time. You tweak things towards, here's what we're emphasizing. I think it's communication. It's having great people around you. We're fortunate that we do. And then I've always believed where our opportunity to separate and distance ourselves from a lot of the league is the fact that we collaborate so well as a coaching staff and a personnel staff. You know, it's a small example, but you know, not every team that's done the Senior Bowl has given, you know, their scouts, hey, you're in every meeting. That's natural for us. We like being around each other. We respect each other's opinions. So I think all those things, you continue to refine it. And you know, Kyle says it all the time. You never stay the same. You get better, you get worse. And we're getting better.
John, best of luck this week and enjoy it.
Thanks a lot, Joe.